Okay, it shows that we are live. I'm not doing any of my normal. I can't get it all to come up. Usually I do the countdown and all that good stuff. Today has been a little bit crazy, my friends. It's going to take a few minutes for everybody to get the notifications and stuff. So usually what I do is I'll like blast your picture and have a little music, and I want to make sure to thank everyone that is either already here in the live, watching the replay, maybe you're listening to me over on Rumble. I just want to welcome everyone and thank you everybody that is watching watching or listening to the replay or the podcast. So thanks everybody so much. Let's see. I want to make sure because I did have a week where I'm showing on my end we're live. I'm not seeing anyone in the chat to tell me that we are. Tiffany and I were talking a little bit ago. Oh, here's someone in the chat. Tiffany and I were talking, and then all of a sudden we lost internet, and we were like, "Which one? Which one of us was it?" So it was a little bit wild. And we have a surprise guest, Michelle, with us tonight. And she's just going to kind of be here to kind of keep conversation going. And we're hoping to maybe let Tiffany off the hook a little bit early tonight so that she can spend some time with a loved one. And but I know you guys are all here or wanting to hear about Tiffany. So first off, at the very, very top, you will see that I have pinned oh, it's not going to show it because I have my ticker going. Just a second and see if I can get that off. And I went to the wrong place, of course. Here we go.
That's weird because I'm not seeing any chat.
Oh, here's Mama Baird. So and Bucket List Homesteads here. Okay, so it's starting to come out. It's starting to share. Good deal. We're a little scared here, friends, because we don't know with internet. Tiffany actually called me earlier today, and she was like, "Girl, I'm going to try my best, but we've got some nasty weather around us." She was telling us that the Florida storms are heading her direction, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
it's like they're traveling straight up. I know that it's where we used to live. My daughter Maddie is there, so she was like, "Yes, it is raining bad."
that's wild. That is wild to
Hmm.
me that it would travel up like that, but you
Yeah.
know,
Yes.
weather does some crazy, crazy stuff. But anyway, at
Mm.
the very top of the conversation, I have your original channel, Mud Mascara, up there. And then you'll see the second comment. She actually has a second channel that she co-hosts
Oh, in there. Okay.
with Ginger over at Not for
Mm.
Nothing Homestead, and it's called Muddin' for Nothing. So I have
Yes.
both of those channels there. And since we have a few people in the chat, we'll go ahead and say hello to them real quick. Jamie, I don't know if she's popped back in or not. She came early. And then we've got Lynn with List Homestead. And yes, I know you have your live coming up in about 30 minutes. And I'm hoping to get to watch that. Well, I know I'll watch that replay because she's got some exciting things coming up that I want to hear about. We've got Big Valley Living. We've got
Yes.
Mama Baird. So glad that you're here.
Oh,
Nanny
the
Tam.
thumbnail.
Welcome in, Nanny Tam. Oh, we've got Christine here.
Yeah.
And let's see. I think I've pretty much said hello to everyone. So let's get to know a little bit more about my main guest, Tiffany, here. So I met Tiffany through collaborations, actually. I think that's how we meet a lot of our
Yeah.
friends. Every once in a while, you might reach out to someone you watch and say, "Hey, I really like you," and give them a compliment in an email. But typically, I've found through collaborations, and it's so crazy how if you're in collaborations with someone several times, you almost get to know them a little bit
Yeah.
and you feel like you're part of their group.
Hmm.
And so I felt like I've known Tiffany even though we've never really met,
Man.
but
Yeah.
we've been, watched each other on lives
Hmm.
and all kinds of things. So that's what's really cool. But I still have some questions for you that I
Okay.
need to ask, but I promise they aren't difficult questions.
Okay.
but if they hit a
They're
spot.
not like Tony's, huh?
No,
Very
no, no, no.
sad.
Mine are
Okay.
very basic. I only have just like 3 standard questions that I ask, and then the rest is just us talking about whatever comes up. But I
Okay.
always ask everyone, first, just tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, I'll let you introduce yourself how you want.
Uh, well, my name is Tiffany, and I don't really know. I, we're in the transition of moving. I have 3 daughters. I have 2 granddaughters and 2 grandsons. Um, and right now I'm at I guess I could say I'm kind of on a ledge right now in my life. Uh, I'm at a very quiet spot. Um, so, you know, it seems like at 50 years old, I'm just learning about myself. So that's kind of where I am right this minute.
Isn't that wild how that happens though? Like it's once your kids are grown and you can take that sigh of breath, then you look and you go, who really am I? And what am I
Right.
doing with my life?
Right.
Yeah, that is
Yes.
crazy.
Yes, because I mean, you think about it for so long, that's even down to trying to cook food for 2 people, is a
Yes.
huge adjustment. You
Yeah, it's
know, it's crazy.
it's wild. I am not an empty nester yet, but I feel like I am because the kids are never home to eat with
Hmm.
us or whatever. And I was thinking about that this year, what with canning. It's like, do I really need to can,
All of
100
that
jars of
stuff.
beans anymore? Because do we need, and if I do, they need to be pints, not quarts, because twice a week beans doesn't sound unreasonable, but
Right.
yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. Crazy place to be.
Yeah.
So, I usually ask everyone, what brought you to starting your own YouTube channel?
Oh, my middle daughter Jamie did kind of push
Really?
me over the edge. As far as canning, doing the gardening, and uh, then it was just you met people and got involved in the collabs, and it just became fun, and it just kind of took off from there. To begin with, Miguel was my sidekick, my oldest grandson. So it was a I mean it was always me and him, and it was teaching him how to cook, teaching him how to be self-sufficient. He knew how to plant seeds. He knew, what it looks like. As the way I taught him with a seed was, it's like life. It starts out as this and then goes to this stage and this stage. So he was always with me, and now we're so far apart, which I'll be honest is rough.
I bet it is. I'll lead into a little bit more in-depth questions about your channel, but one of them is usually like where your thumbnail or your pictures come from. Is that your grandson in your background picture? I
It
wondered about
is.
that. Yeah.
Jamie, my daughter had that photo blown up into a big blanket, and it says he's doing this, and it says on the bottom, my biggest adventure is with Nene and Papa. So,
Oh,
yeah,
I
it's a,
love that story. I was wondering, what that meant. I wondered what he was doing, and
mhm,
I thought there's gotta be meaning for that. When you choose a picture, it usually has a meaning to it.
mm, yeah, yeah, he's my right hand, and then Micah was born, and they're just getting so big. So,
Being a grandparent is an unreal thing, but it's the best thing, right?
it
I
is, it
just
is.
I'm so excited tomorrow I get to go see my grandbaby.
Oh,
Um,
that's good.
yes, I've gotta get to see her because we'll soon be harvesting, but next week I've got a baby calf due, and so, you don't usually get to leave after
Mm-mm.
the cows have calves because I have milk cows. So
Yes.
you're done.
Wow.
You're stuck at home usually. So we talked about why you started, but we didn't talk about when you started. How long have you been doing YouTube?
I don't know.
It's a hard question, I know. I'm thinking probably within the last 2 years is when
It hasn't been
yeah,
longer than 2 years. Yes.
yeah. I was thinking I'm under 2 years, and I was thinking
Mm,
that we kinda got going about the same
mm,
time. Hey, Xander.
yeah.
So yeah, I think that that's really neat.
Mm,
I think a lot of people that got started about the same time we did enjoy
mm,
the collaborations. It seems like it's just a thing
yeah.
that we all like doing. And speaking of collaborations, aren't you getting ready to your are you hosting a collaboration? Are you co-hosting one next month?
Yes. The shindig starts on the 1st, and it will run through the end of September. So it's Dale at 9 Acre Family Farm and Tony at Kettle Kitchen. And it's just whatever you could bring to a picnic or like a family event type collaboration. So, but it starts. That's what's in the smoker now.
I wish I was there. I mean, now you said that your voice can kinda carry down, but can the does the smoke smell go down? Do you ever have people at your door, "Please, can I have a taste?"
I usually when we're smoking like that, I let Ginger know, or James will run her down a plate or whatever. I honestly don't know if she can smell the smoke down there.
It probably goes up, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if she can. So I've never even asked her about that.
She's
I
in the
have
chat right now.
yeah, Ginger,
I don't
can you
know if she
smell
can
it?
smell it.
I have a, neighbor where I had no idea how much she could actually hear because she's kinda uphill, just very slight incline,
Mm,
and I'll be down, and I'll be talking to the peacocks, and if you've ever been around peacocks, they're like,
yeah,
"Meow,"
yeah,
or a lady screaming or something, and so
yeah.
I'll scream back, and I'll sing at the animals and do all kind of things, and one day I asked her, and she goes, "Oh, yeah, we hear it all."
Uh, uh,
Yeah,
Maybe
you
I
would think that stuff travels down, but no, it travels up.
yeah.
So yeah.
So very interesting. Oh, Christine
Mm,
says it is her first oops, it's her first
yes.
collaboration. So very, very exciting. Yay. And I'm so glad I get to be in it with you, Christine. And so
Mm,
is Michelle, right? Are you in the shindig? Yes,
yeah,
I thought
yep,
so. Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
on the second.
Oh, you're in the very beginning. I think I'm on the 8th. So,
I'm making my video tonight, Tiffany.
oh,
Yes, I
oh,
am
that's
too.
right.
And I'm looking forward to what I'm making, so I'm really excited.
Me too.
Yay.
Me too.
I'm sorry, mine's already gone. We done ate it. I made something and took it to family reunion. I was like, "Well, why
Oh
not
yeah, I
record what
remember
I've
that.
taken?"
Mm,
Yeah, and you said, "Yep, that's fine." So I was like, "Okay."
mm,
I still need to edit it and do all that good stuff, but
but it's
yeah.
gone. That's good.
It looks like a lot of people in the chat are in it
Hi,
too. This is
Carrie.
cool.
I'm not sure if Carrie might be new to, my chat. I'm not sure, so welcome. Oh my goodness. Let's see, what are some other burning questions I have for you?
Yes. What are they?
Um Do you feel like you're probably having a little bit of a hard time? We've kind of talked about this behind the scenes, and if you don't want to talk about that's fine too. But um, with being off grid, do you think that has changed your way of getting to do YouTube? Or are you,
It has changed a lot, uh, because at this point you're limited. Like at this point, I'm limited on internet because of the phone service is still at the other location. So while I'm here, it's constantly roaming. So if I have the Wi-Fi box on, it's eating it up. It's eating up gigs. So I have to be very, very careful of what I do. So I've been just laying low. I have a lot of videos that are stuck in my phone, um, a lot of them, even from the beginning where we first moved the camper up here, that will probably won't go out until we make our final move, so that everything can tie in together instead of being hung up for a couple of months. It's just going to be one stream. So, but I took a break from YouTube for about 6 months too.
So people could maybe expect that once you get settled, that videos will start coming back and that you might have
Mm,
little snippets of the journey along the way,
right.
and to just stay strong and stay tuned to you
Yeah.
that you'll be back.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be back full force. It's just hopefully by November, this is all going to be done because this
Winter's
is,
coming.
yes, winter. I'm ready for November to be here next month.
Yes, I bet. So we have a question of what kind of house do you want to build? And if you don't want to talk about that, that's fine because that's a privacy issue. I totally get it because you don't want people knowing stuff. That's totally fine.
I think that, we haven't always, well, we have to do some major repairs in here because of the water damage. If you've seen any of the videos that were on Money for Nothing or to begin with, there was massive water damage done to the roof.
Oh
But
man.
we are just going to add on to this. And the very first thing we're adding on is a massive outdoor kitchen
Oh
because
nice.
that countertop is about that big.
Oh man.
And I cannot, that's why some of my videos when I first came up here, it was like, hey, this is Tiffany with Meta Mascara, and we're back in Ginger's kitchen again. You know, because there was no room. I wasn't familiar with, I was a little hesitant about the stove because it's, this big. I
Yeah.
mean, I was
Yeah.
very, very apprehensive, and I've learned a lot in the last 3 months. A lot more than I think I've ever learned. So,
Barb said she would love to have an outdoor kitchen. I think
yeah,
we all would. I think that is amazing, and I'm a little bit jelly, and I can't wait to watch that all come together because
yeah,
it's gonna be fantastic, and the fact that you're gonna do it probably off grid is gonna be
mm,
wild.
yes.
So I'm super excited. Hey, welcome, welcome.
Hey, Jen.
And so there was 2 things that you just I sparked some more topics we could talk about here. One is collaborations, and it's even hard just to make videos, but
Mm,
she recently did a video for my collaboration, which if you come on Friday, everybody don't forget to be watching those videos because
yes,
Friday I'm going to give away a personal size air fryer, and I might have a few things to give away during the live too, I think. But she had to really be careful because running an air fryer, you wouldn't know until you're in that situation, took a lot. Like she had to make sure she had the sunlight to make that happen the day before or whatever. And so, yeah, that was a lot for you to do that for me, and I appreciate it. You're giggling. Is there a story?
I went down to Ginger's house afterwards, and I said, an air fryer will not be in my repertoire up here ever again. I said, because I had, I knew the batteries were completely full. Okay. So what I did was I plugged in the air fryer and then ran and checked the batteries. And I knew that it had to be a recipe under 20 minutes
Uh-huh.
because it pulls 1500 watts right off the bat. And it
Wow.
just plugging it in pulls watts without turning it on. So
Really?
yeah, just it your anything
I
that
would
is
not have known
plugged
that.
in, your power is using.
Well,
That is
that
all
makes
your power.
sense because they say when it's storming to like, you're supposed to
Mm,
technically unplug your TV if there's, like, a tornado watch or
right.
whatever. Well, nobody ever does,
Yeah.
but
Well, I
oh
do
my.
now. I don't.
Oh,
Yeah. And I ran down there and told Ginger, I was like, "You are not going to believe what this little piece of equipment pulls and draws from the sun."
crazy.
So
So you were a really good friend to do that for me. So thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
hey, homesteading hustle, and then we've got a couple who had the outdoor kitchen and Jam It Up June that you were going crazy over outside the US. I don't remember her name either, but it was the first time she made jam too, right? Ginger,
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name, but I know exactly who Ginger's because I was like, that is exactly
Yes.
what I'm looking at. You know, just to be able to, I want to be able to cook off a fire pit. Everything I have is cast iron,
Oh wow, yeah.
and
Mhm.
you know, to really go back to that. That's all we've ever dreamed about is going back to that lifestyle, and it's right within months.
Oh, I'm so excited for
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Do you want to rig it for Tiff to win a solar panel for your giveaway? Well, if I had a solar panel to give away, I'd probably keep it to myself.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's funny.
Are you
oh,
going to do like an Adobe oven or anything where you can bake your bread and pizza and stuff in it?
You know, I had looked at several because, it, you know, Ginger and I have talked about this multiple times because I'm like, you cannot make bread in the oven. There,
Hmm.
it doesn't. You can make biscuits in there, but like you got to put it up under the flame to get it brown. It just don't work right, you know. And I looked at a pizza oven type dome area, and I looked at a Coleman, like a cheaper Coleman, but I was afraid my cast iron pans were going to flatten that thing out, you know, as an
oh.
oven because it's a camping oven. But
So a
I
Hmm.
solar oven would be the same thing too, probably. They're probably not
this
very sturdy either then for cast iron.
mm, I don't know. I would have to really look at those, and those are so expensive. A
Girl,
solar
you need to
oven.
get a sponsorship where
Yeah.
a
Go to
company would
Camp
send
Chef.
you all this stuff to try. Like
Yeah,
you could be their test person. You'd
Yep.
be like, "Nope, sorry, you gotta go. Your company,
yeah,
you know." That would
yeah.
be awesome. That'd be
Mm,
awesome. So I kind of find it funny, and I don't know, and Michelle, you don't have to answer either, but one thing I have found that some people found in this collaboration that I hosted was you found that you a new love for your air fryer. Like
mm,
you got excited for like me. I found all these new recipes and all these new ways because I have a different kind of air fryer. And then some of you found that, you know what? Air fryers aren't going to be for me. So, Tiffany, you aren't the only one that probably won't be using an air fryer anymore.
right.
I've already given mine away to
Yep.
a very, very happy young lady, and I only used it 5 or 6 times in 3 or 4 years. That is some valuable real estate in limited cabinet space.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep.
Right.
So, I
But my
mean,
taquitos were amazing, and I almost considered keeping it. And I'm like, no, no, no.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. You just can't keep it all the time because I'm a big kitchen gadget person though. So
Me too.
Me
I
too.
actually have 2 air fryers on my counter right
Mhm.
now if you've watched my video.
Can you share the story why, please?
Okay. No one touches my air fryer but me. My husband and son don't clean up after themselves, and it's a horrible mess. So they have the flip top air fryer where I can take the basket out and clean it every once in a while, and they can leave their little crumbs and leave their little messes. But my pampered chef one, I don't want that thing getting all yucky at the door. I don't want
Hmm.
stuff stuck in there. I clean it out every time. I throw the insides in the dishwasher, the parts that can go, and
Yeah.
it stays well. But yeah, there's the mama air fryer, and then there's the messy people air fryer.
When
Do
I
you have
was,
like that for microwaves too? Because microwaves
No,
can be tricky.
I just don't hardly ever use the microwave anymore.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Mm.
Um, we have some stuff in the chat. It's always so hard um
Use your cast
to
iron on
keep
like
up.
The Coleman oven, Christine. It's like a just a little box.
No, sorry.
I've been very curious about that because I miss making biscuits and bread, and I and it's
Oh,
not
I
as
see.
expensive.
Go outside. Go on. Go. That might keep some of that noise down. Sorry about that, guys. It was Kowalski Mountain. See, they have been living in their RV. And she said that she even made bread, and someone was asking how you get the tops brown. So have you been brave enough to try any bread in yours? I have a hard time cooking in camper ovens. I never, it just never is the same. It never, I don't
And
know
you
how to
need those
explain.
tiny little pans. You can't even put a baby cookie sheet in them. You know, you have to have a whole set. In my opinion, you have to have a whole special set of pans just for that little oven.
So looky here, Barb uses hers as her microwave as a bread box. That's
It's a
hilarious.
good idea.
I do too.
Do you? That's
Yes.
awesome. It must
And
work
I
really
learned it.
well. Hey, Leanne.
Yeah.
Oh, on the Coleman. Okay. She
Oh,
uses her cast iron. Okay.
I
Oh,
need to get that then.
tapped it one more time.
Because I was afraid that it wouldn't hold the weight of the cast iron.
I don't know a lot about grills and stuff. That's kind of my husband's department. But every once in a while, I use the Traeger, and I think you can like use it as an actual oven. Like you could take a 9 by 13 and put it on there and make a casserole.
My brother does that. He's
That
got a
would
Traeger.
be an
Yeah.
awesome thing to have in your outdoor kitchen. That would be fun. Oh, we can dream up all kinds of things for you.
Yeah. I already have the stove. I have the flat top, the smoker, the grill. It's just the actual building
Yeah.
to house everything. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So
Yeah,
I'm
saw
like,
your
you're a
flat
mad
top that you
smoking
had?
woman.
I'm sorry. You saw that flat top that you guys reconditioned?
yeah,
Man, we have one like that. I love that. I love that.
yeah, love the flat top. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's it actually the wind flipped it over, literally, and the greenhouse picked up the greenhouse and flipped over the Blackstone, and I've got to get it out of there and make sure everything's okay with it because I didn't want to pull all these things out to move them one more time. Because I still have one more move to make.
Oh
So,
my goodness. Yeah.
yeah,
So you're really in limbo right now.
right. It's like being suspended in midair at the
Oh
moment.
my. I'm sure that's difficult.
Yeah.
So I've never had the lasagna, but I have had the mac and cheese. It is the bomb diggity. My dad makes the best, and he makes this stuffed jalapenos, that are wrapped with the bacon. Those are so
Mhm.
good too.
Yes, yes. Those are good. Anytime, anytime.
Maybe those will be a future video someday.
Yeah.
So another thing that you had talked about earlier that got brought up was the second channel you're involved in. Do you want to tell us how that evolved?
Well, when we first came up here, that's just kind of like a weekly catch up of what's going on with, sometimes Ginger has stuff going on, or either I have stuff going on, and we just kind of come together on that day and and talk about it, whatever's happening, or sometimes it's stupid stuff, sometimes it's serious stuff. It really depends on what's, and we never plan those. Just so everybody knows, that is never planned. We don't, you know,
But that's the fun of it, right?
yeah, we
It's
just
just
go in and
sporadic
talk.
and
Yeah,
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 yeah. I love it. So if you haven't already, make sure that you go sub both of those channels just to see what's going on. And is there any more dying questions in that you and the crowd have? Please put there. And Tiffany, is there anything else that you want to talk about? I promised you that I would try to let you out early tonight because I just feel that you are
it's
giving
okay.
so much of yourself. Those of us that aren't involved in this life don't even realize that her being here on the internet with all of us is probably not only sucking away her time that she needs to be working on other projects or spending with people that she doesn't get to see very often. She's zapping, her energy from her camper to be able to cook supper and do all
It's
kinds of
all
things.
right. I'm good. It just, because whenever Mr. C is up here, I can ride on his internet when he's here. It's not as big of a deal. But like during the week, and I hope people understand this because people are calling me saying, "Hey, so and so has called, and why aren't you watching their videos?" It's not because I don't want to, because I would love to sit here and watch video after video after video. It's just the bandwidth and the internet, you know. So, and then it's just that's the only thing I can say about that. It's not that I don't want to watch anybody because I love watching
Sure.
what everybody does and keeping up with them, and because you don't talk to them face to face all the time. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah. Other than that, you know, I'm just trying to keep on keeping on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to give you the opportunity if you want to exit out and go spend time doing some other things. You are more than welcome
I
to
am
do that. We've got Michelle here that could step up and entertain us. Michelle, can you give us a dance?
I don't dance.
No, I'm fine. Y'all can, I mean, we can talk about whatever. James is watching the smoker, so
Okay. All
it's
right.
all
Well,
good.
um,
Did
all
we
right.
find out if Ginger could smell it?
She
No,
said
we
no.
didn't.
She said no, she can't.
Did
Mm-mm.
everyone notice that Michelle got a new haircut? She and I decided that every time she goes live on another channel, she gets to get a new haircut and get all dolled up.
I think it
I
looks
love
good
it.
tight like that.
I live
Yeah.
vicariously through her.
Yes.
I want to do the
Hmm.
short hair
Mhm.
thing. I just worry my hair is so thin and flat that it would just like look like this. I would.
Well, mine breaks when it gets down to my shoulders because of the curls. I don't know why. It just always
Oh,
has.
yeah.
And my dream was always to have really long hair, but it didn't work that way. So I might as well embrace the curls, embrace what I got, and keep it short.
Yeah. It
Well, I
looks
love
so
it.
good. Yeah.
And think of all the money I'm going to save on shampoo and hair
There
products.
you go.
My
Hmm.
There you
gosh.
go.
Yeah. Yeah. Those things are very expensive. The products are. Yeah.
Well, I'm a pretty low maintenance when it comes to that kind of stuff. I don't get my hair did and I don't do my nails and all
Mm-mm.
that stuff, but I do be
But
an
nails are
expensive wife.
fun. I
They
never
are,
thought I
and
would like nails, but I like
I
nails.
I used to back in the day, but I just today cut them because when you're milking a cow, that digs into your hands. So it's not that
Oh,
I'm a cheap wife or anything, because my cows and all those habits are not they're not cheap.
You
But
that's
make
true.
yeah,
up for it in kitchen tools.
exactly. I have a terrible kitchen habit. Terrible. That's
Yes.
why I've sold
Yes.
Pampered Chef twice now, I guess. I don't know.
Hey, that's the
Yes.
best way to get all the numbers.
The goodies. Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding, no kidding. Well, it's kind of Ginger's fault too, because she's like, you could sell that stuff in your farm stand, and actually, people have enjoyed me having some stuff out there, so
Mm.
that's been fun.
Oh yeah.
Oh my!
Mm.
Oh wow! Someone's boarding the plane.
Bye, Christine. Be safe.
Oh, wow. Have a good one. Yeah, be safe on your flight.
Huh? COVID caused
Oh.
her hair to fall out. That's crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's one I
Mm.
haven't heard. So I just don't think that there's real any answer of what could or couldn't happen with that virus.
Mm-mm.
Wow. I've never heard of that. That's a
Yeah.
bummer.
That's a honey, don't buy me anything. Just give me the credit card. I'll get it myself. Yep.
Right. Right.
Get it now and ask for forgiveness later. He and I both
Mm-hmm.
do that back and forth. It's mutual.
That's
It's
pretty good.
we've had oh, got a new motorcycle, I see.
Oh, my.
And I'm like secretly going, I just got
That's a big one. That's something you can't hide for a couple months in the closet, right?
No, no,
Wow.
no, no.
We've
Oh,
never been that way. I don't, it's just like every day, whatever you want, just go get it. Let's talk about it first. I love it though when JJ says we've got to put the kibosh on the spending, and then I see the Amazon Prime ban pull up 2 days later.
yeah. It's usually them asking you to stop spending so that they don't
Who's
have to.
watching?
There
That's
was
usually
a
the way it is
video.
around here.
There was a video out the other day that uh, James had shown me last night, and it was. I'm pretty sure it was on TikTok because he's on TikTok all the time. But it said when the Amazon truck comes after my wife, my wife's order on the Amazon, it's a shipyard
Yeah.
boat full.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, whoo, okay. That would be,
I will admit I do like the convenience of Amazon, and that was before, pre-pandemic. That has nothing to do with it for me.
yeah,
I
I'm not,
just you don't have to leave the farm, and
mm-mm,
gas isn't cheap, and if you can get stuff we have the Prime, so it's shipped for free
mm-hmm,
usually. I do the same thing with Sam's Club now. With my
yeah,
daughter and I share the membership, and
mm-hmm,
so we decided we could upgrade since we're splitting it, and we love it. I don't have to make a minimum like Walmart, is it like $35 you have to spend to get free shipping or whatever? And I just love the convenience, and I've become really spoiled by it, to be truthful.
right.
I mean, like the other day, we were out of chocolate syrup and my son wanted some. I know I should make my own. That's on the list someday to try to figure out how to do. But the goat's milk, if you've ever had goat's milk, after a couple days, it takes on a goat flavor. It's not a bad thing, but he likes to put a little
Mm-hmm,
bit of chocolate in there just to drink a glass. And so
mm-hmm.
I don't mind it, whatever. But we were out and I was like, oh, I just got on Sam's Club and had it shipped to me. It
That
was
day.
well, I got it like a couple days later, but I mean,
Wow, that is good.
I didn't have to leave the house. It was awesome. I loved it.
Right, right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Mm,
Anyway, I'm spoiled, I
wow.
guess. Uh-oh,
Is it,
JJ
is
did
it
something.
Hershey's?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah. Bad things about other ones that you don't like, or you just prefer Hershey's?
I love Hershey's chocolate syrup. Oh,
Okay.
It's the best.
I mean, if you grew up in America, come on, right? And
Mm-hmm.
Nestle's Strawberry Quick.
Yeah, he likes that sometimes too.
Oh, the little girl next door informed me that she has that every morning with her breakfast. So I'm like, oh, I'm
Oh,
coming
Oh,
over to have
funny.
breakfast with you.
Yes. Yes.
that's,
I usually have lots of it on hand because my son-in-law loves Hershey anything
mm,
chocolate, like ice cream, whatever, anything. And so I try to always, when they come visit, have some on hand to send home as a little fun thing.
mm-hmm.
Oh boy, this must be Dale.
Strawberry and milk.
Oh man, Leanne, did you get lots of free samples? Oh man.
I
Mm,
always wanted to go there when we would be in Pennsylvania, and I never stopped in Pennsylvania where there was a layover. Oh, wow.
So I didn't know that.
Huh.
A week later, it was rock hard. So maybe it's a good thing I haven't done it because I was planning on doing like a whole bunch of it, and putting a bunch of jars away. Kind of like when I make my cajeta, I make that. It's a Mexican caramel sauce out of goat's milk, and I'll put it in my little. I have little like 6-ounce jars, I think they are, and then I'll just put them in the cheese cave, and they'll stay good in there, and it's great. But sounds like that would not have been a good idea.
I
mm.
never thought I'd have a friend who said in the cheese cave.
It's just an old wine
That's
fridge.
pretty fancy, Angela.
It's just an old wine fridge. Oh,
Oh, it's just a fridge. I'm
yeah.
thinking it's like an
I like the sound of
in-ground
cheese cave.
Oh,
fruit
yeah. It's just
cellar
the
type thing.
terminology. You call it a cheese cave when you put your cheese in there to,
Wow.
yeah. So, no. I do have a room in my house I call the cave though. That's where it's like a storm shelter. We
Hmm.
under our porch we decided instead of just having, a concrete block that
Hmm.
underneath it we built a storm shelter because we are in Kansas. I mean, there's tornadoes and I
Right.
wanted a safe place to go. And then I started canning. And now I have all these shelves of jars. And so everybody always laughs and says, "So can we even get in there if there's a tornado?" And I'm like, "Oh, it'll be fine. And we'll be able to eat if we can't get out. If the door gets blocked, we'll be fine." Well,
Hmm.
funny thing is, there was a tornado at my daughter's graduation, and I had all these people here, and we could only get a few number of people in the cave because of all
Oh,
the stuff I had in there. And it was like a moment because I've got like 2 freezers and all these shelves of canned
mm-hmm.
goods, and I'm like, I need to rethink this, especially when it's just the 2 of us. But I thought to myself, there's 5 of us in my family. We could all get in there, no problem. But
Hmm.
now I've got grandbabies and, my parents. And
Expanding, yes. Yeah.
so it didn't matter though, honestly. We just put the mamas and babies in there, the youngest, and took care of them. And then the adventurous ones were all, right, like, seems like within feet of the tornado, watching it, videoing it,
Watching
and
it go
everything,
by.
yeah, in between the 2 big buildings,
Yeah.
and then the rest of us were all just in the living room and chit-chatting
Wow.
away, so whatever.
Mm.
Oh, who is hurting you, Jamie? See, I've missed.
She hasn't had chocolate for 2 weeks.
Oh,
Wow.
no. I love chocolate. It's the older I get, the more sweets I want. I was just having that conversation with my daughter. She just graduated with a nutrition degree, and she's like, "Yeah, that's pretty natural. That happens to a lot of people when they get older. They start craving those sweets." And I'm like,
Hmm.
because I told her, I
Yeah,
said,
my grand. Yeah.
I feel like I have to have a treat before bed, and I'm
Yep.
like,
Hmm.
why? I don't know. Even
Yeah.
if it's just like 3 little, gummies
Hershey
or
Kisses or something.
whatever. Yeah. You just feel like you have to have it at
Hmm. My granddad was like that. I mean, he constantly had a candy dish, and it was just him until, me and James took care of him for a little while, and it was filled with Hershey Kisses. That's all he would eat, and he would get uh, James some the Werther's caramel things.
Oh,
So
yes.
yeah, but he always had to have candy on him,
That was
and he.
Jeremy's grandpa. He always had a candy dish, and then the kids would come and he'd say, "Help yourself, help yourself."
Hmm.
I don't know
Yep,
how that man always, I mean, I think he got to where that's all he ate. I don't think he ate
was
big
candy.
meals anymore. It was just, and then on the other side, it got to where you'd see chips. So you had your
Yeah,
sweet and you had your
and it's
salty.
salty. Yeah.
I'll never forget learning that in college on how you lose your taste buds as you age. And so,
Hmm.
when you're up in your 70s and 80s, you crave sweet and sour because that's what you can taste
Hmm.
because you've
Right.
lost some of that other. And I'll never forget, I took care of a lady and I would bring her groceries, and we always got lemon drops and gherkins, pickles, and apple butter. She wanted that sweet and
Those
sour of
treats.
the
Yeah.
lemon drops. The apple butter was, real sweet, and I think she
Wow.
survived on that, and the gherkins pickles were tart.
Oh
Tart
wow.
enough. The gherkins are
Hmm.
kinda sweet, but,
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Pesto pizza, that sounds wonderful.
That is the
Hmm.
bomb diggity.
This segment is
That is so
broadcasted from
funny.
the Cheese Cave and brought to you in Hershey Stuff. I love it. That's hilarious. I'll have to actually show you all the cheese cave one of these days. I need to make some, while I'm still getting goat's milk, I need to make some feta. And
Mm.
so, yeah,
Because
I'm
feta
wanting
is
to.
better.
Yeah.
Feta is
That
better.
stuff is
I don't
amazing.
know. I like the Gouda.
Hmm.
It's good, yes.
Nice and
Yeah.
smoked. Oh my gosh. Mm.
Yeah. Gouda is good too. I like any kind of cheese.
Yeah.
Uh, Even blue cheese, but blue cheese, I'm allergic to something. It gives me a nosebleed. I don't know why.
Oh,
Oh,
something about the
wow.
mold,
So,
I
yeah.
suppose.
So I have to be very careful because we used to eat blue cheese on steaks and
Ooh.
Yeah.
with rosemary and butter. And yeah, so it's just a very little bit will do that. So that's, but I'll eat, I love cheese. Like if you open my refrigerator right now, there's at least, I don't know, probably 10, 15 packs of cheese in there.
Yeah.
From Parmesan to smoked Gouda to Monterey Jack to whatever. Yeah, I
So have
love
you
cheese.
made that? What is it? It's like a triple cheese macaroni and cheese on your grill, on your Traeger.
Mm, mm-mm.
Oh, it is
I've
so
done
good.
smoked macaroni and cheese.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
I've done that.
the one my dad makes. It has like cream cheese and Gouda and cheddar, and I don't know if he
Mm,
puts pepper
that
jack
sounds
in it.
really
I
good.
don't know. It's amazing.
That sounds
Yeah,
good. I'm gonna have
yeah,
to look that up. Mm,
yeah. I think he came with his grill.
that sounds really good.
Bye, Leanne.
Yeah, she's up on Friday, right?
The
Yeah,
first,
Friday's the first. Yeah,
Wow, already.
yep.
Now, if we could just get it to cool down outside. The shadows
right?
outside are really growing now, you know?
Hmm.
And so I'm being tricked, and then I walk outside, and I'm like, oh, yeah, it's still summer.
Yeah,
You said that you're having a hot day there, but it's going to be cool this weekend, Michelle. And then I told you that we're not bad right now, but it's going to get up to 100 this weekend. So Tiffany, what's the weather going to do for you this weekend?
I don't think it's going up that high. I hope not. I mean, are y'all's leaves changing yet?
Not
No,
really. Now the corn is
Really?
starting to dry out, but yeah.
they
Oh
won't
no.
change here until late October to early November.
Well, I must say here, there's a lot of leaves on the ground, more
Hmm.
than what I've ever seen before. And I don't know if it's because I'm in a different area, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, a lot of the leaves are yellow. I mean, not completely, but they're already falling on the ground.
I'm
So,
sorry, y'all. I got sidetracked with the lane. This is just cracking me up.
Bud Cave.
I have a small fridge of potatoes. It's in a spud cave. That hit me really
Oh,
funny.
there's Jenny.
Hey, Jenny.
Now, Friday for us, the first, is hunting season starts. So,
Oh,
I'm,
really? Okay.
um, I am just excited for that day to come. Not necessarily to do it. It's just, I mean, who cares who gets it? Just because we can that stuff. So yeah, that's our meat for the winter.
So, what when you say hunting season? What season is that? Is it for deer, elk? What I mean, I don't know.
Deer, just
Yeah,
deer.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It in the fall, it was a big deal. My grandma would open up the upstairs because
Hmm.
normally it was just the two of them, so they had the door shut to the upstairs, and they wouldn't have to heat it. But I mean, just enough so pipes wouldn't break and stuff. But
Right.
um, and it would open up, all the beds would get remade. It was a big deal because all the hunters would come in
Hmm.
and hunt around here, and it was a it was a special time because we would get together and have family dinners. I mean, she would
Hmm.
cook up. They had saved fish they caught all summer, and
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it was a good time. So hunting, even though my husband doesn't hunt or anything, I have great fond memories of it. And
Oh,
I
I'm
grew up
sure.
eating deer meat. My dad used to hunt
Hmm.
that, and um so yeah.
This will be this will be my first year where I've been hunting with James multiple times, but this is going to be my first year that I am going to get something this year.
So you got your own tag.
Yeah, I'm
That's
ready by
exciting.
myself. I'm ready. I don't know what I'll do afterwards, but
Now, do you bow
we'll
hunt?
see.
Do you use the bow, gun, both?
I've been training with the compound bow. Ginger let me use her compound bow to get, and it's not the easiest thing in the world to tackle to pull back. And so I just constantly keep pulling back on it. And then she gave me a target to use, like a big styrofoam target. So it's in the yard. And when I go out there, I just keep, and when I go out there, I try to go out there for at least an hour or two,
Good for you.
just to keep pulling on it. And then when I'm in here, and let's just say one of the deer walked out in front of the window, then I would just pull back here just to get my own adrenaline, which
Uh-huh.
everybody keeps saying it's not going to be under control, and I get it, but I'm just trying to get myself
Yeah.
like, don't see a deer and either poop my pants or have a stroke, you know. So I'm just trying to get used
Oh,
to
you crack me up. Well, Xander, maybe she's planning on getting herself a compound bow, and that's what she wants to learn on. He said that you should have learned on a regular bow first, but if you're wanting a compound bow, then I think that would be the good thing to learn on. I know
well,
nothing about it.
yeah, it was just, bows are expensive and at the moment, and thank God Ginger let me borrow hers. So
Yeah. I would have no idea what the difference even is. I mean,
he's
I have
probably
an
talking like
idea.
a recurve, which has no, because even James said that. He said, I wished we had a recurve for you to start out with, but we didn't. We're using what we have.
You're
And
just so awesome. You're gonna skip that step. You don't need to
so,
worry about that.
but it took me forever to get that bow pulled back. And when I did, I didn't know that Ginger was on live down there because I didn't have the internet on. So I'm calling her like, I got it, finally, I got the thing pulled back. And
It's hard.
she was like, oh, that's, I think she said, do you want to say hello to everybody? Because she's
I was
like,
watching that live.
yes.
Yes. Was it a craft and chat maybe? I don't
I
remember,
think it
or
was just a pop up she did. I
maybe
can't
so.
remember,
Maybe
but
so.
yeah, because I didn't even know she was live.
Yes,
I
because you
know
did
like when
say
she's
yeah.
scheduled. Yeah,
Yes. That's funny. I
yeah,
and I actually caught that one.
yeah. Because I was just so stinking excited. I was like, I
Good for you,
cannot
Renee.
believe it. So,
Renee, do you
Does
ever go
bow
out with him?
hunting does bow hunting extend everybody's year? Because I mean, I only know from California, but bow hunting season always starts a week or two earlier than
yeah,
guns. Is
yeah,
that way everywhere?
In
it is
Kansas.
here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I think that later afterwards, it goes back to bow season for a while too. And
Yeah, I'm
there
not sure if we do
and that's
that.
for turkey and deer here.
Mm-hmm.
And that I
We
think
have
that's about
turkeys
all they
running around everywhere. It's like you could probably get a turkey faster than a fish out of the river around here. They are
Wow.
everywhere.
We
Wow.
used to be that way, and then they started letting people hunt, and then
Uh,
they had to I think they may have to back off on that again because it was kind of no limit or whatever.
Wow. Mm.
So, I mean, I used to be able to look. I don't think you all can see. I'd look down, see where those trees are down there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
hmm
field over my shoulder.
Yeah.
I would look in that field every morning, and they're easy. I could always count at least 50 of them. Now I
Whoa!
Yeah, now I hardly ever see them, and we're talking 10, 12 years in that span.
Wow.
It went from that many to nothing. So, I
Do
keep
you
my
guys
birds
have
in
wild
pens.
boar?
No,
Do
I
you? Because
don't.
you have a farm. Do you guys
We
have wild boar?
look the other night. I'm gonna be kind of honest with you. I was laying in the bed. I was not feeling very well, and all of a sudden I heard this big, loud kaboom. And I sat up, and the first thing I did was I went to go call Ginger and be like, are you okay? What's going on? And about the time I picked my phone up to hit her to call her, she was calling me, and she was like, Tiffany, I'm just gonna let you know there's about 15 wild boar up on the hill on the top of the mountain. And I was like,
Oh, my
what?
face. Wow.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
would have been scared to death. I am scared of wild boar. I've heard so many stories about pigs anyway, But then
It's
I've
a
heard
big
that a
problem
wild
here.
boar is even more dangerous because don't they have the big tusks that they
Hmm.
use to hurt other animals and people?
Hmm.
They
And
scare
they
me.
can have several litters a year, and they can reproduce at, I believe, under a year old.
What was crazy is they were running in a pack. There
I
I've
was
think
they
they do
heard
were
that
that.
all
now.
running
Yes.
together, is what she was telling me. She said they came out this time last year because I'm telling you, when that thing went off, I mean, I was just kind of laid back, chilling out, watching it. One of my downloaded Ratatouille probably, and I mean, I was like, grab my phone, and about the time it rang, I was like, okay, I know that it's them, because you have people living on this side too, and they came down a weekend or two ago, and man, they fired a gun back to back to back for hours.
Oh
And I
man.
went down to Ginger's, and I was like, this is getting on my last nerve. Just so you
So I probably know the answer to this. I can hope that it's not what I think it is. Are they a protected animal?
The boar,
Yeah.
not here.
Good.
No. I've
Because
heard that in Texas they actually drop poison, which of course is not the best thing I would think because it would poison all the animals that eat them. But I've heard that it's such a bad problem down there. It was a couple of years ago, but they were just dropping poison because
wow.
they reproduce so quickly.
Mm,
I've
yeah.
heard of people going out and hunting them just to get the population down, kind of like alligators, that they'll
Hmm.
let them bring them in and
Mm.
wow,
Yeah,
20.
that
That would
Renee,
be horrible. That would be horrible. Ginger, I don't know how you all do that. Do you guys have to worry about what they might do to your own animals? Like they could, if they're coming 20 of them, they could probably tear down fences and stuff.
now I
mhm.
know I had called James and told him, I was like, Ginger, just let me know there's 15 or 20 mob boar running. He said, that's not good. That's what he was just like, that is not good. He said, because they will dig up the garden, they will do so much damage. And
Ah,
I was like, okay, yeah, that's because I was like, I mean, I was ready in case they came hauling down this trail right here, but you know, and that 308 is loud. It will wake the dead. I promise. And
so,
we're talking. I don't even know how far away we are from each other. That thing sounded like it was on my front porch.
wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Can
And
you
when it's real
can you
quiet where you are, it would be even louder
it is
sounding,
very
right?
quiet. You
Yeah.
know, I just started shooting my video for the shindig, and in that video, I was watching a replay of it, and I turned around to James and I said, "It is so flipping quiet."
Hey,
I said, "Do
Carrie.
you hear how quiet it is up here?" Because he's still, at our old location, so it's constant noise, you know. But yeah, that particular PP will, I'm telling you, it will wake you up in a split second.
Uh,
Oh my God.
is there
Because
much else you can do to protect yourself from them? I mean, Michelle, do you have them come through in the where you live, or do they
No, no,
stay out in
no.
the
They're
woods
on
area?
farms. They're out
Okay.
on farms. No, turkeys do. Turkeys just they're
They'll
everywhere.
be in
But
town. I've seen pictures
oh
on, like,
no.
Facebook where people are like, they're in the city.
They
Turkey.
could be by the river and but I've never seen one. I'm sure they hide when you're out there and stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't really know what to do. All I know is they were like, you have to fire at them to get them off the property, because if you hit one, apparently they all herd together. From what I'm understanding, I don't. This
Oh,
is
that's
my
enough to
first
scare
my
me to
first
not wanna
rodeo.
stay there. You're a brave woman.
Yeah.
I'd be so scared. Oh, man. I guess
Mm,
you kinda learn to do what you gotta do, kinda like, I've had snakes get in the nesting
mhm,
box, and at first, I'd be scared, I'd throw the nesting box and I'd run, and then you
uh-huh.
get to where you're like, "Okay." and you look at it and you're like, what can I do about this? And then you
Mhm.
finally get brave enough to grab it,
And sling it.
take
Yeah.
care of it.
Mhm.
So you just, I guess, learn how to adapt. So,
Mhm. She
oh
said that
my.
they are roaming packs and out of control in Georgia. And they're
Oh
worse in
no.
southern Georgia. And
This
it's
is
weird that they're
scary.
all together.
This is right down scary that this could,
Mm.
I hope it doesn't move to my area because I don't think I would handle that very well. But I mean, you just learn to, I guess. Well, we have reached the 1 hour
Oh, yeah.
mark. And so thank you everybody for being here. And thank you, Tiffany, for
Yeah, this was fun to take
yeah,
a break.
it was. It was
Yeah,
it was
to
nice
talk
to get
to
to know
talk
you a
to
little
other
better.
people. It was nice.
Yeah, it was fun to have 3 of us in
Yeah,
tonight too, so
yeah,
a big Michelle had to step away for a minute, but a
yeah.
big thank you to her for being here too,
Mhm.
so, anyway, we'll say goodbye to everybody tonight, thanks for being
Bye.
here, I'll be here next week, I don't know who my guest will be just yet, but we'll figure that out and get it announced, so be looking for it on the community
Thank
tab.
you. Thank
Bye.
you, Angela.